What's up, everybody? It's Eric here, half of the Balloon Guys. The other one is named Jason. I'm sure everybody knows that by now. I am so excited to come today. You can see it oozing from well, I'm not really sweating. It's not oozing from anywhere. But Jason and I are counting down 15 days until the thing we can't really talk about too much. But we basically invented our own cartoon. We were thinking, we've been doing the Balloon Guys for like 3 years. We're all over the place sometimes in what we do. Sometimes we take requests. We used to do some children's entertainment of our educational videos. Silly, of course. Some kind of comedy geared towards teen. We've been basically all over the place. So we said to ourselves, what can we do that will be totally different than anything we ever did before? And we're like, what if we invented our own cartoon or show? I mean, we do have this ability called making balloons. And it sounds like a crazy idea, but I've been inspired so much by a lot of the things I watched growing up. And I'm not gonna lie, people always requested Eddsworld characters. So I'm like, I kind of looked into the background of Eddsworld. And the coolest thing about it seemed like, was that it was just one guy with an imagination. I think he did like comic reels and literally developed a following just by posting his little, cartoon reels to, let me move my chair up. It's hitting the back here. I'm like, am I in the middle of like an earthquake or a tsunami hitting my house? Why is it like shaking? And I'm hitting the back thing. Done. I'm done with it. So basically seeing the story of Eddsworld, how it like took off to the masses and it's like got a cult following now. I thought to myself, why don't we do that? So I was gonna do now, we have 15 more days, and our official first ever cartoon comes out. We are like beyond excited. So I thought each day I'd come live here and maybe tell you a little about the process of how it all came together, which, usually people do that when they're successful. Clearly it hasn't come out yet and it might be a total bomb, but what if it does end up being cool? Then it would be kind of fun to talk about some of the things we did. So first today I thought, talk about how did Jason and I meet. So Jason and I are internationally award-winning balloon artists. I've been doing this for like 15 years. Jason has been doing it for about, I would say like 25 years. I mean, in the industry, Jason is like a fossil. Like Jason is an OG of the balloon world. When I went, as a beginner 15 years ago, they had this, seminar that went on the road called T-Jam on the Road. And T-Jam on the Road had, 2 top-notch name balloon instructors at the time, and you could learn from them. So I was like, I gotta go to the seminar if they're coming right outside, right outside of Philadelphia. So on the flyer, it said, if you want to bring, we're going to have a competition. Whatever you can fit through the door, like your balloon sculpture, whatever you fit through the door, that is your competition entry. Jason made, I had never met him at this point, a gigantic 6-foot dragon. This thing was huge. Nobody brought anything even close to that. And I had no skill. I was making poodles and swords at the time. So that's when I first met Jason. And the funny thing is, looking back at Jason's balloon dragon, we would look now how you, whatever age you are now, looking at your kindergarten drawing. I'm like, I was impressed with that. It's terrible. That's now. But at the time, seeing Jason make that, it was incredible. So Jason and I have been going to balloon conventions for years. We're balloon convention competitors, meaning when we go to convention, they have competitions, small, medium, and large. Large can literally be 10 feet by 10 feet by 10 feet. So it's huge. And Jason had a reputation at the conventions for making some of the biggest creations ever. So he'd be like, where's Waldo at the convention? You couldn't even, I love how I'm giving a personal story about Jason, and the first comment says, you're sus. I appreciate, now that I know what sus means, it actually has deeper meaning that you call me that, so I'm honored. So, Jason and I would be in his room the entire time at balloon conventions, constantly building these massive creations. Look, I did it 1 year. I built a skate park. It always freaks me out. There's the camera. That's where I'm looking at. Okay. So 1 year, I decided to enter the large. I spent Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You had to hand the competition piece in on Friday. In Vegas, I did this, which everybody's partying around me, and I'm like making a balloon. I made a giant skateboard ramp, like a giant U, and then had 3 skateboarders on it. One was doing a handstand, one was holding the board with his, like, in a skater pose in front of the, whatever the skater pose is, in front of the thing, and then another skater on the side. So it didn't win. In hindsight, like Jason's Dragon, I thought it kind of looked a little garbage. It was kind of on the scale, but it was a learning experience. So Jason and I, not only did we enter competitions and, like, you know, the biggest balloon competitions in the world and compete against each other, we also lived 10 minutes away from each other. So one day when I was hanging out with my nephew, I asked my brother, what does he like to watch? And he's like, oh, put on Candyland on YouTube. I'm like, oh, what amazingly produced thing is this? It must be like a Sesame Street. And so I turn it on, and it's a guy opening candy at a table. You didn't even see him. All you saw was the table covered in candy, and then he'd take his hand out and open candy, and then talk in a voice that should be nowhere near it. This wasn't a smooth voice. So he's like, candy, yummy, in my tummy. I'm like, okay, this clearly is somebody who's, you know, maybe possibly in their mother's basement, or just, you know, doing this and throwing it on YouTube. This can't be the professional page. So I looked at the YouTube the YouTube subscribers. 1 million subscribers. And I'm not trying to knock the hustle of what he's doing, because, you know, I'm just saying, I open candy, nobody cares. And I know that anybody who goes to the store can buy candy and open it also. So I don't think this is ASMR. And somebody said, so not ASMR. But he was like, he was talking like, SpongeBob, yummy, yummy in my tummy. And I'm like, yo. So I just thought that it just wasn't that interesting. You know, but that idea made me go to Jason, and I'm like, listen, I think that we should start a YouTube channel. And at first, Jason, you know, was like, but he came on to the idea pretty quick. And that's where I'm going to stop today. That's kind of the beginning of the Balloon Guys. And if you're just maybe tuning in or, you know, fast forwarded, we are so excited because we actually invented characters and made a cartoon with the characters. And yeah, the things people do on YouTube, I'm like, opening candy, I do it every Halloween along with millions of people. It's not a talent, okay? Either way. So I want to do 15 days countdown, because on the 15th day, we're going to drop our first ever cartoon, and I'm going to take you behind the scenes, even though I should have done this, you know, at the time, like when we started it a year ago. I should have actually started filming behind the scenes stuff. So I'm going to take you on a verbal journey these next 15 days about how we came to the point, and then we're going to release these characters, and then we're going to pray that everybody out there absolutely love it, because all we want to do is create funny, cool videos. Cool as in it's for everybody, that everybody will enjoy it. We want it to be funny because we need more funny videos. I'm sorry, but social media these days is depressing. So we want funny videos. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to go back in tomorrow. All one person on the live. Thank you for being here. But everybody tuning in later, I'm telling you, so much more stuff's coming. Bye, everybody.